Aloha, I'm Reiko Ho. I'm from Honolulu Theater for Youth, and we are performing the Carp Who Would Not Quit here at CTC. I am the director and playwright.
Hi there, I'm Gianna from Family Fun Twin Cities, and this is the Let's Go Do Fun Stuff show. Reiko Ho, a Japanese American whose home is in Hawaii, is concluding the U.S. mainland tour of her production, The Carp Who Would Not Quit. Reiko is a playwright and director who loves to create shows for the youngest audience members, and Children's Theater Company was excited to bring them to Minnesota. My son Omri and I had the opportunity to chat with Reiko about Hawaii and about what she thinks of Minnesota and about what we can expect in the show. This is a 2-part series, so make sure to subscribe to our show or channel so you don't miss the second part.
Okay, so first, I am Yonsei. I am 4th generation Japanese born and raised in Hawaii. So my background is that I am Japanese.
Oh.
So these stories are actually some of my own favorite childhood stories.
How long has the show been around for?
So we started the show at the year of the pandemic. That's when I started making the show. And we got cut off by the pandemic. So the show was canceled. We were supposed to tour throughout Hawaii. But the cool thing is we started doing digital media once the pandemic hit because we couldn't do shows anymore. We couldn't do live shows. So this play got made into a digital production. And that digital production got seen by different people and led to Peter Brosis, the artistic director here at CTC, seeing it. And then here we are. So my goodness, like 4 years later, we actually have traveled the world. So the show actually traveled throughout the continent to 14 venues in the fall. So this is our final stop here at CTC.
Nice. What other animals are in the play?
Okay, so the first story has koi, carp, and we also have usagi, rabbits, and we have mice, nezumi. There's shisa, which are lion dogs. They're kind of imaginary, legendary animals. And neko, there's a wide variety. We have white butterfly that flies through the stories as well.
I saw a dragon. Yeah.
Yes, because the story of the Carp Who Would Not Quit is based on a legend. It's actually originated in China, and it's also Japanese and in many Asian countries, right? It's the legend of the golden koi who swims up the waterfall, and it's a story about perseverance. And through his perseverance, he climbs up the waterfall and gains immortality and turns into a dragon.
Yeah, I read that in one of the Japanese books. I can't remember the name, but it was about this girl who wanted to left her village because they never got rain. And she found a dragon along the way. And they had to go ask this maker or whatever. And on the way they found a fish who wanted to swim up a waterfall.
Yes.
And he did swim up the waterfall, and he did become a dragon.
That's another adaptation of this story. So you're going to get to see our adaptation of the story, which was actually created for the youngest audience members. So when I first did the show, I think it was actually before the pandemic, and it was for preschoolers in Hawaii. So we never expected to be here in Minnesota with the show.
We were curious, what made her want to write the show for preschoolers?
H2I, Honolulu Theater for Youth, I am a resident artist there as well as my entire cast. We are part of the resident ensemble there, and we do shows for young audiences like CTC. Okay. So sometimes we're doing shows for very young audiences all the way through high school. And this particular show, we knew, when I started writing it, we knew that it was going to be the show that season that served that population of kids. But I love making shows for the very youngest audiences, and I find it's like it could be their very first show that they ever see. Mm-hmm. So I feel that it is a great responsibility, but it makes me so happy. Mm-hmm. And I just love hearing those little giggles coming from the house. Yeah. It just warms my heart. So it is actually one of my favorite audiences to create pieces for. This is made just for them, and it's interactive. Okay. So they'll get to learn Japanese names for the animals, and they'll get to call out with the cast and interact during the different stories and do a little mochi dance.
How many people are in the show?
So it is a 3-person show, and they play all the characters, all the animals, transform in every story. One of them is an amazing musician, so it's really important for me to have traditional Japanese music. So the show must sound Japanese. Mm-hmm. It's also kind of a vehicle for cultural stories, which is really important to me as an Asian American theater maker. So Matt plays 3 instruments. He's so talented. We have a live koto, a live taiko drum, and a shakuhachi, which is a flute.
Children's Theater Company is the last stop for the Carp Who Would Not Quit. We asked Reiko where else they had toured.
So we started in Arizona, and then we went. Oh no, we landed in Denver, and we went to Steamboat Springs, and then we went to Arizona, 2 locations in Arizona. And then we went over to Las Vegas, and then we made it all the way across the country to Atlanta before returning home in the fall. And then we came over here, and we also did a neighbor island tour. So we toured the Hawaiian Islands before starting our continent tour.
I asked Reiko about the decision to end their tour in Minnesota in the middle of the winter.
Minnesota in January and February? Was this your choice?
No. No. That is when CTC invited us to come, and CTC is it's so acclaimed, and it is a dream come true for us to be coming out here from Hawaii. We really never expected it, but it's freezing.
It is freezing, and you know what? It only started getting cold probably.
Oh, the weekend before we came.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they warned us that the weekend we were arriving, which was last weekend, that it was getting really cold. We're like, okay.
Yeah, and I keep saying that. It's only been a week. We can do this. We have done this. Why are we complaining? We should not.
Yes, and we are here for 5 weeks, but then we get to go back to our warm Hawaiian sunshine. So, we're lucky.
I hope you get a good snowfall.
Oh my gosh,
It's still
but I
cold.
think it's beautiful. So,
good.
For somebody who never gets to see winter,
Yeah.
it's gorgeous.
I'm glad that you like it.
I love it, actually. So we're free. We're cold, but I'm walking to the car.
Yeah, exactly. And then turn on the heat.
Yeah.
Thank you, Reika, for enjoying Minnesota and for sharing your show with us.
Thank you. You asked me some really great questions.
Make sure you go check out The Carp Who Would Not Quit and other animal stories here at Children's Theater Company until February 18th. Family Fun Twin Cities provides a weekend family fun guide that divides into regions of the metro. We also have a highly curated calendar of the family fun you can find on any specific day. We have all the links available in the show notes if you are listening to the podcast, or in the description box if you are watching on YouTube. And now it's time to highlight our weekend top 3. The Winter Carnival has been going full bore this week. If you haven't had a chance to enjoy it, you still have this weekend for Winter Carnival Fun. Saturday is Winter Carnival Kids and Family Day in Rice Park and Landmark Center. Finish the day with the Vulcan Victory Torchlight Parade. Like we've mentioned, the Carp Who Would Not Quit is playing at Children's Theater Company. We were told by a very reliable source, 4-year-old little Mr. O, that it is very fun, full of puppets, dancing, and music. 45 minutes with no intermission, playing this weekend. On Saturday, from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., the Minnesota Center for Book Arts is hosting an event called Press Play, free letterpress printing. Try a variety of different types of hand presses, an iron hand press, a platen press, and a Vandercook cylinder press. You are invited to make 2 pre-designed prints in 5 different languages, and they include Arabic, English, Hebrew, Spanish, and Swedish. You can, actually look at
Okay. See, I don't even remember all my questions. Hi. I have to get closer now? Okay. Okay, do you come back? Oh, you still don't remember. Okay.
And now, it's your turn to go do fun stuff.